swag of a prize fighter. The antithesis of a firefighter. Arsonist, I'm a fire rider. Instant flame like a firelighter. So special with shows, I live out my flows. Can't walk in my shoes, can't purchase my clothes. Ice in my veins, but I never froze. Picture perfect, but I never pose. As a juvenile, I knew I bounced back. Got rated, had a plan to get my ounce back. Use cheese as bait, that's a mousetrap. Let me to the right person to pounce at. They selling dreams, I'm pulling receipts. Full force, we can't be beat. Got a dirty mouth, but the flow so neat. Keep your 2 cents, talk is cheap.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is comments made by Anthony Joshua, where he admits he wasn't right going into the Andy Ruiz fight. Let's take a listen to what Anthony Joshua had to say, and then we'll come back and discuss this in greater detail. All right, so here's what Anthony Joshua had to say.
Looking at the Andy Ruiz fight, no excuse, but I think looking at that, you could see from the ring walk that something went right. But I've never come up and said, oh, this is the problem and this is why. So if people want to live off that, they can live off that. But the difference is when you watch them fights on TV is one thing, but when you step in the ring with me, it's another thing. So you can watch as much as you want, but until you face me, you'll never know what it's like. Looking at the Andy Ruiz fight, no excuse. But
watch AJ's face when he says something isn't right. Watch how he looks at Eddie Hearn.
Ruiz fight, no excuse. But I think looking at that, you could see from the ring walk that something went right, but I've never come up and said, oh, this is the problem and this is.
Okay, so now we're going to discuss that. G got a look on his face, so I'm going to go to G. G.
No. I was just like, was he looking at Eddie or was he looking at Frank?
Yeah, G. He was looking at Eddie. You saw where Eddie was sitting, right? I'll put it back up.
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
I'll put it back up. Hold on.
Yeah, you can throw it to me, man. I take it.
Oh. I don't like how that sounded, Ned. I don't even know.
No, boss yourself. All right, hold on. All right, so watch where he looks.
But I think looking at that, you could see from the ring walk that something went right, but I've never come up and said, "Oh, this is the problem."
Now watch when the camera pans out. Watch when the camera pans out. You see where Eddie is?
Yeah, but he's like right next to me. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I can still talk about it though, but you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So, all right, I'll say this. It's kind of funny too that we about to.
Nah, we said we were throwing it to Ned, man.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead, Ned.
Yeah, watch your mouth. Yo,
Let Ned take it.
Respect his jaw, G. All right. From my take on this, like that fight night, yo, we all remember. It's a memorable moment, and when AJ was gonna do his ring walk, it took like 30 minutes, and we was like, "Oh, what's going on? Is AJ good? This, that, and third." When he finally came out, you could see on his face. I don't know if he was starstruck by all the crowd in the U.S. It's his first time fighting in America. This, that, and third, and it's like. It was just different environment for AJ. I don't know if his stomach his eyes had bigger eyes. His eyes. Oh my goodness! I don't know what he was saying. His stomach had bigger eyes. His eyes. He just wanted more than we could handle. He wanted more than he could handle at that moment. And when it was in that environment, it was just too much for him. And that's my perspective on the situation. But AJ, when you was walking to the ring, we all saw you was not in the right headspace to be in this fight. And all this blame goes on Big Baby Miller. Because you messed this fight up. This fight was for you. He built up all this animosity against you, and he had to fight a random civilian who is not a celebrity. No disrespect to Andy Ruiz, but you know. We got to look back. You know what it is. What up? You had something to say, G? You looking like you're not in your head.
Go ahead, man. Do what you got to do.
But it was just so much was going on in this fight. And in this fight, it was going good. It was going good till it went bad. And that's what hurt me the most because it was going good. AJ knocked him down. I'm like, AJ about to kill him. AJ got knocked, and the fight got called off, waved off. But I understand, AJ. You like the build up to the fight got depleted by G's man's getting hit with the Rico because he was like had all the drugs. But I say this to say that it was just like so much going on. AJ was like out of his element. He wasn't feeling himself. And when he came to the ring walk, because the camera was on AJ's door for like at least a good 5 minutes. The camera was standing at there, AJ's locker room, waiting for him to walk out, and he didn't walk out. And once he walked out, you could see in his face he wasn't in the moment. He wasn't in the moment. He was in his head. He was in somewhere. I don't know what's going on. If he had anxiety, what happened, but it was a lot going on. And you saw it in the fight when he got what happened. When he came in confident, and then once he got hit, things like that. I don't know if AJ suffers from a lot of things, but I don't know AJ's personal life. But
sure, the way you talk,
watch your mouth, because you talk a lot about a lot of fighters, but you won't talk about it on screen, man. Watch your mouth.
My bad.
AJ, we all saw you wasn't right before the fight, and it couldn't get called off because it was right there in the moment. If it was like a day before you went through something, then maybe. But it was fight night, and everything hit you like a car crash, and that's it.
All right, Spurgey.
All right. Well, low key, I kind of agree with Ned. So, and here's why. I think AJ did have like an anxiety attack before the fight. Like, I remember, that was the fight where they were like, AJ's coming to the U.S. AJ's sold out Madison Square Garden, the fastest in history, faster than Michael Jackson. And I was like, what? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Eddie Hearn was doing everything in his power.
Robert can't do that, so he can't do that. But
anyways, you know what I mean? Like, I think all of that pressure was just a lot. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, you're training for one guy in particular, and then next thing you know, this guy gets busted for drugs, and they switch over to another guy, which I think the reasoning was, hey, he fought Joseph Parker. AJ already beat Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker beat Andy Ruiz. We could beat Andy Ruiz, So they probably thought this would be an easy tune-up, a display for AJ in New York, in the U.S., yada, yada, yada. They didn't do a good enough research on the kid. Maybe last minute, AJ looked him up. AJ probably did a little Google and was like, whoa.
In the locker room, G.
Yo,
in the locker room,
AJ was like, this dude right here? Yo, talk about, he probably was like, yo, hold on, talk about, yo, get you know what I'm saying? So his father was probably like, oh my God, this guy gonna kill us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so they were like, yo, we don't want to come out. Eddie's like, nah, you gotta come out. He's like, nah, chill out, B. I'm not doing that to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the whole situation in the locker room was going crazy. AJ's like, oh my God, I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? Getting nervous. And then finally calmed down. They're like, yo, just come out. He comes out. You know what I mean? And he's thinking, like what Ned said.
Type of insight you get only on Boxing Bros.
That's a fact. That's
AJ
a fact.
Googled Andy Ruiz and saw his highlights and had a panic attack in the locker room. And that's what it was.
You're right. It's totally right. It only makes sense. This conspiracy status right here.
Baby.
It
was the first time he saw Ruiz fight.
Yo, so then, I'm telling you. So then, when he gets in the ring, I'm telling you, you know what happened? At first, he's probably like, yo, you know what? Yo, this dude don't look too tough. So then he hits him with, a little bang bang. And he rocks him. He's like, oh, it's over. I'm going for the kill. And get caught with the counter. Bang! This dude dropped like, oh, snap, I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? He's confused. He's concussed. He's like, yo, this never happened to me before in my whole entire career. Klitschko punched like a hammer, but at least I seen them punches. I never seen a punch. No, ref is like, fam, you good? Dude, just let me take my mouthpiece. I'm cheating right now. AJ don't know what to do. He's confused. Yo, AJ looked like a baby in the ring, son. He looked like he was on punishment on timeout. You know what I'm saying? So, man, listen, man, it was just bad. It was just a bad day for the Zone, Matchroom, Eddie, AJ.
It was the beginning of the NG.
Nigeria was in mourning. Yo, it was crazy, son. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I remember Ned, Stretch, these dudes crying in my crib. I said, yo, it'd be all right, fellas, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes would even dap me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, they acting like AJ's a Lord and Savior. You know what I'm saying?
About what everybody else did. What did you and Complex do?
Hey, man. Yo, listen, man. It don't matter. You know
I almost had a heart attack.
It don't matter.
Jumping up and down, happy.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, listen, man. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Listen. I do feel bad for AJ because back then it was supposed to be undefeated AJ versus undefeated Wilder. So his loss and Wilder's loss messed it up for me. You know what I mean? But it's still cool because I feel like they could both bounce back. And I really like the fact that AJ is now here in the US training with killers. You know what I'm saying? I think that training camp with Derek Jack, I think that's a great look for him. You know what I mean? He needs to be around wolves. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them dudes in the UK. But he need to be around dudes that are in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Dudes that are hungry for this. So I feel like he can eat off of like that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good look for AJ, but hey, I'm just gonna be 100, man. AJ, you my man's, but I always
he's not your man. Stop saying that.
AJ. I'm a root for Franklin to win.
With AJ.
Hey, I'm just being honest. I'm a root
rock with AJ. Stop saying he's your man.
Hey, listen, I'm just gonna say this. I want AJ to win, but I want him to lose.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You like the way he loses. Y'all jump in. Now this is where I got to jump in.
Like your brother.
You sit here acting like you AJ. You support AJ. You don't. You don't. And the craziest part is I look crazy when I call it out. But G, mind your mouth. Don't do that and leave AJ alone. All right. At this point, leave AJ alone. I'm done.
Pardon me. No more disrespect for the day about AJ.
All right, dollar bill, man.
That was a lot, man. All I want to say is, man, like everybody knew. Stevie Wonder can see something was wrong with AJ that night.
That's a fact.
Everybody can see, just like my fellow co-host was saying. AJ looked like a deer in headlights. Something was wrong. We all seen it. We was all talking about it right when he was coming out. It was like something's up, something's wrong.
It's them highlights. I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? Even when he got in the ring, he was like, something's off, something's wrong. So, yeah, everybody can see something's off. But shout out to AJ. No excuses. He took his loss like a real man. He didn't blame it on nothing. And he stood 10 toes down. And came back and got some revenge, got some payback. So it happens.
He froze on a dollar bill.
That's it. I'm done.
All right. Yo, yeah, man. There were a lot of speculation going into that fight. I remember. Because everyone did realize that AJ doesn't look like himself walking into the ring. But what highlighted that was at the end of the fight when AJ's dad got in the ring and he went at Eddie Hearn and they were arguing in the ring. And then people were speculating. And there was speculation that he had got knocked out in sparring by Joey DeWaco. There was speculation that he had a panic attack back in the locker room. G has added his own take on what took place there. I'll say this. I do believe that something was wrong with AJ. Exactly what it is, we won't know. But the way he looked at Eddie was like, like kind of like, obviously I wasn't myself. And then he looked at Eddie and then like paused and he went on. It's like, he's like, Eddie, you know what's up. Kind of like you're aware of what happened. And I think his family was aware. Because there was something inside happening that his dad knew, that Eddie knew. And I think that Eddie probably felt he could beat Andy Ruiz still with whatever was going on. And he almost did. So, even if, and this is why, like, I'll be honest, even if something was wrong with AJ and they made the decision to let AJ fight, to me, AJ didn't lose that fight because people put him in the ring. He lost that fight because he made a tactical error, which could happen. But, you know, he was about to win. He was on the verge of winning. He just got a little reckless with the finish, and then he got countered, which could happen to anyone, which happens. That's a common way someone comes back in boxing. They're going for the finish. They just get careless and they get caught. That's a common thing in boxing. So I wouldn't just throw that blame on Eddie. But what I will say is, you know, it happened. And AJ's acknowledging that it happened. So he didn't make an excuse. He didn't say what it was. He's not taking anything away from Andy Ruiz. He's just letting people know that if you think that that's the AJ you're going to see, it's different when you get in the ring. And he's right. We'll see what happens with him and Jermaine Franklin. But at some point, a 30 for 30, a movie or something, I hope we know what happened in the locker room and G can be vindicated.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know you're rocking with Boxing.
You want me to go out to see this guy? Nah, you know what I'm saying?